Okay, have you ever been in your house, it's nice and quiet, you turn off a faucet, and suddenly there's this huge, violent bang from inside the walls? It's a sound that can really make you jump. Well, that noise is a signal, and it's telling you something's wrong. In this explainer, we're going to get to the bottom of that mystery and, more importantly, show you how to fix it for good.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? You shut off the washing machine, maybe you close a faucet just a little too fast, and then, bam! This loud thud just echoes through the whole house. It seriously sounds like someone is taking a hammer to your pipes. So, what on earth is actually going on in there?
Well, that crazy sound actually has a name. It's called water hammer. The more technical term is hydraulic shock. Now that we've put a name to the culprit, let's dive in and take a much closer look at what this incredibly powerful force really is and why it's happening inside your home.
Here's the deal. Water isn't weightless. It has mass, it has momentum. You got to think of it like a liquid freight train barreling through your pipes. Now, when a valve slams shut out of nowhere, all of that moving energy has nowhere to go. It just crashes into that valve, creating this massive shockwave that rockets back through the pipes. That is the hammer that you're hearing and feeling.
That analogy really hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It perfectly captures the sheer power we're dealing with here. This isn't just a little bit of water sloshing around, it's a violent collision. And that collision puts an incredible amount of stress on your entire plumbing system, which, as you can guess, can lead to some really serious problems. So, understanding the cause is always the first step to figuring out a solution. Why is this freight train getting stopped so suddenly? And, maybe more importantly, what kind of damage is it actually doing every single time it happens? Let's break it all down.
The most common offenders are actually our modern appliances. Your dishwasher, your washing machine, they use these things called solenoid valves. And these are basically electric valves that snap shut instantly. They give that moving water zero time to slow down gracefully. But it's not just the fancy appliances. It could be something as simple as high water pressure in your house, pipes that aren't strapped down properly and can vibrate, or even old plumbing fixes that just don't work anymore.
And let's talk about pressure for a second, because it is a huge factor. See, most home plumbing is designed to be happy somewhere between 30 and 55 psi. The moment you start getting over 60, the risk and the force of that water hammer go up dramatically. That shockwave can actually spike the pressure to 10 times its normal level for just a split second. If your pressure is creeping up towards 100 psi, you are in a major, major danger zone for some serious damage.
And make no mistake about it, this is so much more than just an annoying noise. Over time, those repeated shock waves can lead to total system failure. I'm talking burst pipes, loosened joints that cause those slow, hidden leaks, and it can even damage the expensive appliances that are connected to those water lines. Ignoring this could easily mean a repair bill in the thousands for water damage alone.
Okay, I know that all sounds pretty intense, but here is the good news. This is absolutely a solvable problem. There are proven, effective ways to absorb that shockwave and protect your pipes. So let's look at how we can finally tame that hammer.
The whole idea here is to give that shockwave a cushion to hit. Now, older homes tried to do this with a simple air chamber, which was really just an empty pipe sticking up. But the air inside could get absorbed by the water over time, making it totally useless. The modern solution is so much better. It's called a water hammer arrestor. It's a sealed device with an air bladder or a piston inside that reliably absorbs that pressure spike every single time. It is a true install-it-and-forget-it kind of fix.
All right, so let's walk through the 4 main strategies to get this done. First, the easy one, secure any loose pipes. Strapping them down can really cut down on the vibration and noise. Second, install those arresters right near the problem appliances. That gives a direct cushion to the shockwave. Third, if your pressure is just too high everywhere, installing a pressure-reducing valve, or a PRV, on your main water line protects your entire home. And finally, if you can, choosing appliances that have slow-closing valves can prevent the whole problem right from the start.
Now, before you run out to the hardware store and start buying a bunch of parts, it's always best to approach this like a professional would. You've got to diagnose the problem first, right? That way you can apply the right solution instead of just taking a wild guess.
Here's how you can think like a plumber. Step 1 is just to listen. Does that bang happen with every single faucet, or is it just one specific appliance? That helps you figure out if it's a system-wide pressure problem or something more localized. Step 2, test your pressure. You can get a simple, cheap gauge at any hardware store. And finally, step 3, do a physical check. Actually look for and feel for any pipes that are visibly moving or vibrating when that bang happens.
So what's the big takeaway here? Well, that banging in your walls isn't just some random annoying sound. It's a form of communication. It's your plumbing system trying to tell you that it's under an incredible amount of stress and that something needs your attention before a tiny problem turns into a very big and very, very wet one.
By understanding what causes water hammer, the damage it can do, and how you can fix it, you're not just a homeowner anymore. You're a diagnostician. You speak the language of your house. So the next time you hear that bang, you'll know exactly what it's trying to say. The only question left is, what are you going to do about it?